Welcome, gentlemen. Sway City Muay Thai Podcast. Jake Swartz, Jonathan Haynes.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for coming down.
Appreciate it.
You guys might notice the chairs are a little different. Jonathan was highly uncomfortable on the last show. So the Tulalip Casino would not let me have their lobby chairs. So we're making do.
Should have stolen.
Should have stolen. Well, they would have known it was me because everybody else was gone. So it's like, this is mine now. But no, thank you guys for coming on. So coming down from Fitness Quest Puyallup today.
That's right.
To get on the show. Who wants to start first?
We'll let John go.
What's up, guys?
5-win streak, John Haynes.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. Coming off of my biggest challenge to date. First fight outside the region.
Okay, excellent.
Yep, for A1. Jackson Humauer, tough prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Got in, got it done.
Yep. What do you want to tell me about the fight specifically? Anything?
I mean, there's plenty.
There's plenty
to talk about.
There's plenty to talk about.
Man, like, where to start?
Well, first of all, what I want to say is, like, you look like the bad cop with the mustache. The mustache was coming on hot, like coming in there.
Oh, well, see.
And you have this look about you, like, how do I describe this? Like, I said to Malik or somebody, was like, this guy might just maul you. Like, the last podcast, you had this, like, I'm ready to go, dude. I'm like, see why Joe Rogan made the comment he needed a bigger table between him and Mike Tyson? So like, okay, I get it. But, no, you definitely have that aura about you, so.
Cool.
Yeah,
well, that's cool. I hope my opponents feel that. No, but to address the mustache, one, when I came back from Texas, like I spent like 2 years with a mustache. So that's a look I've done in the past. But specifically with this guy, his finishes are usually front headlocks.
Okay.
He's slick and very fast. He's a very good grappler. So I was trying to take any advantage I could. So I thought, like 2 hours before the fight, I shaved my face, I shaved my body, I shaved my legs, I shaved everything. I was trying to be as slippery as possible. And then with my nose breaking right away and all the blood, it really helped. We were super slippery. Yeah. However, it backfired because in guard, I needed some traction with the legs to get him back, and I was slipping all over him too. So, I'm gonna think next time about maybe I'll keep the hairy legs and the slippery arms.
Yeah. Well, that did kind of suck because, like, you said you were gulping blood afterwards.
I was, yeah.
That sucks because I noticed. I was like,
not after, during.
No, during. I mean, but you told me after.
Yeah.
But I was like watching. It was like, oh, he's kind of like on his back or like on the side, and I was like, oh, he stopped bleeding so bad. Okay, and you're like, nope, I was gulping it. It's like,
yeah. You can see it if you watch it back. You'll see me. It's like this. I'm going, and then I'm talking. I'm swallowed.
That's foul. Anybody knows that's fought before fucking swallowing blood, it does something to your stomach a little bit later. Like, doesn't feel too, at least for me. I'm like, my stomach.
I'm used to like pouring blood in my meat, so there's no issue with that. The problem was just that I couldn't breathe. So my nose is completely full of blood and it's pouring out. So I can't do anything there. And then I've got the mouth guard in, and I'm swallowing blood. So the issue is just that I can't breathe. Yeah. So that first round was extremely hard. Like Jake and my corner Colby were yelling at me to move, and I was like, I understand that I need to move, but getting like enough breath to continue a scramble. Yeah. I was finding it hard. In the second round though, it had caked up in my nose, so it was no longer going down my throat. It was I just had like a plugged nose. Yeah. But then since it had stopped, then I could actually put some movement together.
And it's hard to fuel your body with no oxygen, right. Especially during a fucking fight when you're like at a fucking 14 out of 10. Yeah. Yep.
And being from the corner, we didn't know where the blood was coming from. We just saw blood on his foot, his arm, all over his face, and we just thought he got destroyed.
Just biting me.
Bleeding everywhere. And then we cleaned him up. It was like 2 little cuts on each side of his nose.
No, it wasn't. Well, there was a cut as well.
Yeah.
But that wasn't where the blood was.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was like there's no leakage of blood. It's all coming from his nose. Yeah.
Yikes. And that was a lot.
Yeah. And during the camp, I actually got split twice. So I was split on my cheek. That's not bad. That was late December, and then early January. No, about I think 3 weeks before the fight. No, 2 weeks before the fight. I got split on the eyelid right
So
here.
I can see it.
Right where the ridge of my
Super
eyebrow
soft
is.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh no. So I didn't get to spar for this fight. And I went in thinking the first time he hits me, he's going to open up. And then, so optically, I knew going into this fight, one, if he starts wrestling me, I'm going to lose there. He's a local guy.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is going to be a really hard fight to win with judges. So I have to finish this guy. Mm-hmm. And then right away, I burnt my nose. I'm like, great. You know, great.
Yeah, but you stuck it out. That's why I love that, like, never quit fucking mentality. And you're going hard the whole time, grinding through it, like high-level pro shit, you know?
Well, you know, you're sitting there. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I want to stop the takedown. He throws a kick, I grab him. He shoots, and so stays connected, takes me down, is mauling me, breaks my nose, and I'm sitting there like, damn it, like I'm getting destroyed here. Mm-hmm. But then so I have a decision to make. It's like I could just get finished, like let his will, like him just beat me up and let him win,
right?
Or like the nose is already broken, so I'm already here. I'm already gonna be embarrassed.
I'm gonna win this shit now.
So keep fighting.
Yeah.
You know, just keep fighting. Just win the next 5 seconds, right? Stay present and just keep winning the next 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And you know what I said in my interview was correct. It's like you don't actually need to win 15 minutes. Most finishes are done within 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Just 1 10-second little stint, and then that's the end of it. His like through the fight, like if we're doing just a quick overview. He was overwhelmed the entire time, beating me up, but he was overwhelmed because he got tired. He was breathing hard. He stopped really throwing punches.
You could tell, yeah.
He stopped really doing damage and was just kind of hanging on to me. And then for a moment, he goes for, I think it was a crackdown, right? Actually.
Yeah, it was kind of a desperate attempt to get to a single leg.
Yeah, it was an odd.
It was very odd.
Odd, bad judgment because he shoots in here and gives me his back, right? Shooting to the opposite side, the inside, like single leg is weird.
Yeah.
And that momentary lapse of focus was all it needed because I wasn't thinking about, oh, I'm losing. Like, of course, I was aware of losing. I was aware I need to finish him, but I'm not sitting there like, what is this gonna mean? You know,
right. You're not anxious for the future. You're very present.
Yeah.
In that,
and then the moment presented itself, and you saw what happened. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, that's great, and I actually really like that when you say just next 5 seconds, next 10 seconds. That's something that not enough fighters probably think that way. It's like you just need to survive the next flurry, the next fucking takedown attempt. You know what I mean? You just need to keep in there. If you just keep thinking that way, and it being that it's perpetual till the bell rings.
Yeah.
Then I always say, like, you don't give up, and like we operate in between the bell. So like, yes, you can go for a finish or whatever if it presents itself, but don't get too greedy. Don't think you're gonna like we're gonna beat the bell for sure. Like, it doesn't usually happen that way. But to stay present in there, that's looking for every little opportunity. I love that, man.
Yeah, and sometimes it presents itself, and it's like.
And a lot of times it does.
Yeah. Well, in that moment, you could see the shift in momentum to where his objective was hold on, win the fight, where John's was do everything possible to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And so that energy shifted, and you can kind of see that in the last 3 minutes, and that was when it was like, okay, maybe John, you could make a comeback here, yeah. Because he had a lot of glimpses of getting back in the fight, but I think the first round was so one-sided that it didn't look like John was getting back momentum, but there's a series where 30 seconds he was just elbowing in the head as hard as he possibly could.
Yeah.
And I think John did a lot more damage than the crowd kind of realized because the guy was just so ahead from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think that change in the third round was you could tell that guy was a little bit desperate of just get through the third round, hold on, win, where John was, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to finish this guy. And you could see that output, and it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, if you watch the fight without commentary or with commentary, like I got no credit from the commentary on as far as the damage being done.
Oh, I know. It was driving me nuts. I was watching it in real time. I'm like, this guy's a fucking wrestler. Like the whole fight is just like.
They said nothing when I hit him like 6 times hard as hell in the face. Like
he's
got me pinned. I'm cracking him in the head. They said nothing. And then on bottom, when I pull his head down, was elbowing him. Actually, it was this side.
Beautiful.
Here, I hit him like 4 or 5 times. They said nothing. And what's funny about that is that the fight, we had like a plan A and we had a plan B, right? The plan A was we knock him out standing and do not let him take me down.
Okay.
But we also believed that plan B was probably more likely and that at least in round 1 he was going to take me down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably early. we were going to try to stop it, but it was going to be probably early.
Yeah.
And then instead of trying to just get up and desperately try to like escape this, we thought, why don't we take it away by going to guard and doing damage? Mm-hmm. Now, my nose being broken and him being smart in round 1, he actually was positioning himself in a way where, like, striking his like with elbows was not going to be possible because he was staying over my head. And when he was behind me, he was doing damage. But when he was in my guard, like when I finally decided, okay, I'm just going to go to guard, he really wasn't hitting me with very much at all. He was just holding on, staying over top. And so I was like, okay, I wasn't as effective at doing the damage early in the fight. But as the fight continued, those elbows were landing.
Yeah.
And he stopped punching. He started doing this. There's one point when I was like this with both arms, like looking to elbow him, and he goes, to protect. So he's on top of me going, I don't want to get hit.
He definitely looked like in the end of in the second round that he was not the same fighter as in the first.
Right.
And like you said, probably knowing that he's hometown, he was ahead and he's kind of just ride this out, like kind of maybe looking for that or looking to survive. You said rather than looking to execute.
Yeah, for like I think the second round I was counting the strikes and I don't remember. There was like 3 or 4 minutes straight he didn't throw a strike. And in the third round he threw 6.
Damn.
So across 3 minutes he threw 6, and it was when he was on my back, like he started going for a choke, and he hit me with like 1, 2, 3. And then he went for choke in, and he was like 1, 2, 3, and that was it.
So nothing effective.
No, well, he wasn't even trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
You know, he was literally just trying to smother and ride to a victory. We had a guy I fought 3 times ago that was a lot like that too, where early on they wanted to invest early on in winning, get ahead, and then they just kind of like hold. And so a fight isn't. There are the 3 rounds you have to play the game of the 10-point must system.
Right.
But a fight's to damage and to finish. And
I hope, yeah.
He wasn't looking to finish. And I kind of figured that out too, that, he's not really going for the finish. I can go for mine, and I can go for it. And now he's like, he's just trying to survive and I'm trying to win, even though I was on bottom. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got to switch back and kind of fight your fight there, especially at the end. You came out with it. I was fucking jumping for joy. Whole house was shaking. Yeah. So yeah, man, I was hyped. So good job.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, no, I know. I saw it from the video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Your video.
I was recording on my little team.
Like bouncing. Yeah.
Oh shit.
No, that was really cool. Actually, it was a cool moment.
Yeah, thank you. Man.
More about the fight that was interesting was I've probably watched it like probably 10 times.
Okay.
Like through, I've kept watching it through, right? And something I was telling Jake yesterday was drills that we had come up with, or Jake had come up with before this fight from film study. Like the guy did exactly what Jake said he was going to do. It was weird. He did it a little bit better though. He was
a little bit better than we thought. Yeah.
He's gotten better fight to fight. So he's a little bit better than he was the fight before that.
Yeah.
So on.
Well, I don't know if you noticed who his coaches were. Did you notice that? It was AJ McKee Sr.
I don't even know who that is, honestly.
AJ McKee
terrible with
was
names
like the
over the
Bellator champ for a long time.
Oh, okay, I do know who you're talking about.
And then
yes.
his dad, I think, fought in the UFC, was a bad dude when it came to wrestling.
Back in like the early 2000s?
Yeah.
He fought like 50 pro fights.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
Yeah. So that pedigree, they're legitimate wrestlers, legitimate strikers, MMA. And so right when I saw that, I was like, I didn't tell John that, but I was like, oh, shoot, this guy might be better than we thought.
Yeah. Okay.
3 years with these guys is substantial.
And you said he was a little bit better.
But I put my corners against any corners.
Yeah, that's how you should feel.
Yeah.
If you don't feel that way, you're with the wrong team.
That's right. That's right. But no, so he's sitting there going, oh, he's got a monster in his corner. I'm like, I got a fucking monster in my corner. So, I feel, that's how I feel. And it's going to become more and more evident as I keep winning, as our team keeps winning. People are going to say, well, who's the guy in the corner? Like, who's behind all this, right?
Yeah.
And so going back to it, the drills that he had, like he had shown this drill where when someone's got your leg on a fence, right, and they're trying to ride your legs and kind of like driving into your shoulders, driving you off your hip. Collecting the second leg is what they're going to look to do. They're going to look at the knee.
Yeah.
And so the drill was to take that hand off and then get it behind you. Now in the fight, I didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, oh, I actually could have. I didn't feel like I could have.
Yeah.
But I was watching it like, oh, damn. Like I'm happy that he was right because I'm like, okay, I've got a profit. So good. I'm gonna be prepared, but I need to actually make sure I use the tools that I'm taught. You know, that and then even the style. Like he does one thing in one fight where he almost threw himself into a crucifix. It was against a guy named Gavin Hallinan, really good guy, West Coast guy, really good guy. Not West Coast fight team, West Coast like California dude.
Okay. And
he gets stuck in a fight, and he like lifts up and like slams himself. Where had he done that to one of us, I think that we would finish him right there. Mm-hmm. And in the fight, there's a few times when he kind of like he was too confident in his ability to scramble, and he kind of just stopped moving and did some weird shit. And so he did that. He did a bunch of things that we thought he was going to do before the fight. So to the fans who are watching, it's like, oh yeah, I'm getting whooped, right? Because I am on points. But the fight was going to plan. Mm-hmm. We planned on doing more damage early, but a lot of it was just how we thought it was going to be. And I think that being able to have a game plan where a lot of these fighters go in and they think like they want to just ignore the possibility of losing. Because if they think about it, then maybe it will like manifest it or something. Mm-hmm. So they want to just ignore like, I'm not going to get hit. I'm not going to, like the bad thing's not going to happen. If I don't think about it, it's not going to happen. Like the monster is behind me. If I don't look back, there's no monster, you know? And we didn't approach it that way. Our game plan is like, hey, we're not going to win this whole thing. We're going to be losing some of this. But we're going to stay present in what are we going to do to combat these parts we're going to be losing. And in preparation, I felt extremely prepared for what he actually brought. Yeah. Besides, I thought, even though I knew he was fast, I wasn't prepared for how fast. Oh, he was like his quick twitch. He was very fast. His shot came faster than I expected. Yeah, that's good. And that's good. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he shot into the belt. I was like, oh no! You know, shoot! Here we go again. You know. Okay. Yeah. So it was a very interesting fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he came away with the win. That's the biggest part in my. So, like you said, something kind of interesting there about the not only about the announcers not giving you any credit, but to the average fan, because of the fact that the nose got broken so early and he was on top of you the entire time, it looks bad to the crowd.
Well, it is bad.
And the fact that these hometown and the announcers are selling it that way.
Yeah.
You can see the outcome that they're looking for as well. They're like, this is what we expected. He's a high-level wrestler. He's going to be in there. And he kind of did that. And then, but again, it's just a game of moments, game of inches. Right. So just finding those couple of moments to win, that's all it really takes. I'm going to say, like, the puncher's chance, how many times people just get knocked out, in those little flashes. So, man, I like that you have that never quit attitude. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Mm-hmm. So just that high motor, that high drive. So
the amount of blood was hard to overlook. So
it was. It definitely was.
It was a lot of blood. Yeah.
It was a lot of blood. I've seen a lot of Nate Diaz fights too, though. So
for sure, yeah.
So it happens. People bleed.
Yeah.
I bled. Everybody fucking bleeds at one point.
Man, I'm glad he didn't keep hitting me in the nose.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't have probably made anything better.
Dude, he broke the nose. He hit me one time, broke it, and then he didn't hit me again.
It sounds like he lost some confidence, and you know how like sometimes when you get a little fatigued, especially with certain like something that's a little out of your main game plan, it kind of takes away from it, So maybe he did lose a little bit of confidence, especially with that, and he was like, "Man, if I strike with this guy, it's probably gonna fucking hurt me."
Maybe not. I don't know. He seems like a pretty confident human. I don't think that he saw a possibility where he could lose. At any point. I think he believes that wrestling on its own was enough.
He learned the hard way then.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Because the second round he came out and I actually hurt him with the jab. Mm-hmm. And then he shot, which was smart because he could take me down. Okay. But yeah, so there was a second when he was going to throw, or he acted like he was going to throw for a second. And then decided, never mind. So, yeah. I really wish I had thrown the knee because I probably could have knocked him out with the knee, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're our own biggest critics. You're gonna sit there and download and fucking analyze and go back like, fuck, I could have won here, could have won there, but that's what keeps us hungry and this keeps us looking for those little moments.
Yeah. One thing I want to circle back to though, although the commentators weren't giving me any credit for the damage being done, I actually really liked their commentating. They were what they were calling out, like as I'm watching the video, I'm like, actually, this is they have a good it's a good perspective. It's just not the full perspective. You know what I mean? Like they don't know me. They don't know that I was planning on this happening, right? So they were calling things out. Actually, I think really good. And who expected me to win? No one. I think only we expected me to win.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Actually,
what I will say about it is, did you watch the entire card or just yours?
No, just mine.
So the entire card, they're very like, jiu-jitsu doesn't work against wrestlers. Striking doesn't work against.
Okay.
So it's like the entire card. I'm like, so these commentators are fucking wrestlers.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it was just a very clear, or maybe they don't do MMA or whatever it is, and I'm like, you could just really tell that it was a heavy wrestling bias, and they weren't wrong. Like you made a good point. Like they were calling out very good things, and a lot of the wrestlers were winning. So they're not wrong, but you can hear it from like somebody who's not deep into wrestling. You could definitely hear that there's a lot of heavy reliance on their knowledge on that, especially in commentating. Like, so if I was like when I commentated at Nick's show, KCFC, I'm a Muay Thai guy, so I'm gonna be like, what? I don't know wrestling or jiu-jitsu really, but I know striking really well, so I'm gonna be able to be more. I mean, hopefully not biased, but I'm gonna be more knowledgeable in that. So I think that's what I kind of recognize.
Yeah. But what's funny about that is, you can hear me say the same things. Jiu-jitsu doesn't work against wrestling.
A lot of times it doesn't.
You know?
That's why there's jiu-jitsu competitions.
That's why I found
no
the best
disrespect.
wrestler.
I love our school. We're a jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai school.
Look, I left an MMA gym for a wrestler.
Fair enough.
That tells you what I think too.
Now, to be fair, this is not just any wrestler we
this
have
is the best
here.
wrestler in the state.
I'll give jiu-jitsu credit. I think wrestling is all about position base.
Okay.
Right? And so if I can threaten, I can change your position. So in order to wrestle a guy, I need to position myself to put them in a position where they have to move. And if they have to move, I can dictate where they're going to go, whether it's a strike or a reposition. And the thing that jiu-jitsu holds well with is he can threaten my position to make me react to what he's doing from bottom or a different position. So I think the thing jiu-jitsu lacks is the ability to hold and maintain positions, like the pinning technique when it comes to jiu-jitsu. So the fact that he can threaten from position helps his wrestling. So I think the two work well together, where I think wrestlers are just a little more prone to use jiu-jitsu, or jiu-jitsu practitioners are more prone to stick with jiu-jitsu. But I think meshing them together gives you a better source than doing one or the other.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, that's funny because when I first began at MABJJ Fife in like 2011, Sean Gasper was a D1 wrestler. He's co-owner with Marcelo. So Marcelo would come down Tuesdays and Thursdays and teach jits. And Sean would do submission grappling style jiu-jitsu, and like he would work everybody into the fucking ground, and then they would start their jits techniques and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And so he really brought the D1 wrestling kind of coach to it, and that's when we had our biggest success at the team. Was like we had a huge MMA roster, a lot of like amateur champions, couple pro champions, but you know how like you said around here is like not huge pro circuit inside or in-house gyms. Maybe not yet. Like
Well, I think a while back though,
Texas.
it used to be bigger.
Well, it used to be bigger and more dedicated because there wasn't like right around now you can throw a rock and hit a fucking fighting school. Not necessarily a good one, but you can throw a rock and hit one just about,
Yeah.
Taekwondo or fucking karate or Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu or like everybody. There's a boxing school right up here. I was just driving by, like it's the old Mattress Ranch building on Pacific. I'm like, what the fuck? Boxing. I don't even know who it is, but you know how easy it is to pop up doesn't mean it's quality.
Well, I mean, I like it though. I like that the interest is there. That people want to do combat
it's mainstream as fuck now.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Good way to get in shape. It's a good way to build confidence.
Yeah.
It's also like any kind of fighting is going to help you in a real, like at least deal with a real situation. Not that the fighting techniques themselves will work, but like having the confidence to be able to understand you need to act, control yourself, and start like making decisions.
Yes.
It's fantastic, and especially for like kids, like get kids into it. So I love that it's everywhere.
Absolutely. And I even say that a lot of people think that organized like team sports and stuff don't mesh well. I think they're great for it, especially for developing coordination, learning how to learn, be a student, understand that even though like fighting is individual, but like nothing is done on your own. It's like a team. So a team sport is very relatable. Not thinking like I'm just here for me or anything like that. You have to operate as a team. A lot of times people that think that way, they go to a gym like yours or hopefully mine, get their ass kicked, and then they're like, oh, I should probably like practice before I think about this kind of shit. So, but being that you said that you like that they're everywhere and you guys are operating out of Puyallup, what would you like to tell me about Fitness Quest Puyallup and what you guys are doing there?
Yeah, you want?
I'll jump in. Yeah. So I don't know if you're familiar, but Vision Quest Sport and Fitness
Used to be, yeah.
Yeah, that was the owner owned Vision Quest, sold it, lost the rights to the name and the sale, and then came back with Fitness Quest.
Okay.
And so it's a fitness gym. We specialize in personal training, group classes. We have your platforms, turf area, all your basic gym stuff. But our heart is in wrestling.
Okay.
And so the owner's a world champ wrestler. My father, I was a D1 All-American wrestler. Half our staff, maybe more than half our staff are wrestlers, just because, you know, like-minded people are going to get along. You work well together, good environment, right?
Definitely.
And so we built the gym to sustain wrestling. And at Vision Quest, my dad just put wrestling mats down selfishly because, you know, I wanted to train, he wanted to train. And the people just started showing up. We had Matt Human there for a little bit, running some of his MMA program. Mighty Mouse was in there for a little bit. And then we had wrestlers coming from Cedar Woolley, down south. And it was just put mats down and people showed up. This was back in like 2007, 2008, before the big burst of all these gyms out there. And so in that time frame, we had about 5 high school wrestlers that went off to be D1 All-Americans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that's kind of the model we're trying to bring now. But it's, like you said, there's so many gyms out there where it's like you have one really tough guy at this gym, but he's isolated and he's kind of stuck in that small pond where he's not going to grow much until he starts to find other competitions.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to bring about Fitness Quest where it can be like a regional training center for wrestling, to where more people are getting just higher level looks, whether it comes to coaching or just practice partners, right? And so we started the wrestling side, and then it just made sense to do MMA. We teamed up with Synergy, Ron Pittman.
Yep.
He was a good buddy of Randy Beto, who was a partner in the gym. And so we introduced, me and Ron hit it off right away. Within like 10 minutes, we started talking about footwork, position, movement, relating boxing, the wrestling, and basically it's 80% the same thing.
Okay.
And so we hit it off right away. And then through business, we hit COVID. And so we're just trying to survive. And then we opened up the large facility in Auburn, the large facility in Puyallup, and then got busy, kind of lost sight of it a little bit, kept the wrestling going. And then we opened up University Place, got busy again, but now we're settled in. We have 3 locations and we kind of, you know, survived the 5 years of a new business. So now we're trying to clean up things and be perfect. And kind of my job now is I want to get wrestling mainstream to where it's almost like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So you have a 9-to-5er, he goes in, does jiu-jitsu, goes home, gets a good workout, and we want that for wrestling. And wrestling, like you said, kind of has the higher intensity. It's more scrap and position-based. We want to simplify that and kind of go more on the jiu-jitsu side, to where a guy, you know, maybe out of shape, busted knee, like you don't have to go in there and like get a black eye and break your back and tear your knee and wrestle. Like there's position bases where you can do it in a safe manner. So when we drill, it's like, it should be easy, it should be fluid. That's why they call it flow wrestling. And so we're trying to teach people flow wrestling when it comes to just movement positions, right? And then John shows up and goes, hey, wrestle me. I was like, okay, yeah. And so over the course of 2 months, me and John just start wrestling, we start training, and then he decides to move in full time, and it's like, I guess I got to learn MMA a little bit better. So now I'm getting punched in the face and going in there doing striking and trying to learn jiu-jitsu. But at the end of the day, I love wrestling. And so I'm finally at the point now where it's like, I think I'm more excited about MMA wrestling than I am about wrestling. And so now we're kind of teaming up to where, hey, let's see if we can grow this thing. Because selfishly, we're trying to get John to the UFC.
Yeah.
And so the more we,
selfish.
It's super selfish, right? And so the more we build around John, you know, the better he's going to get, the more opportunities he's going to get. And then selfishly on the back end, the better he does, you know, the more we can grow the sport and grow recognition through wrestling.
Well, and also, you know, a long time ago, we talked about this last time, people used to come to Northwest for fighters. The UFC used to come, Pride, like fighters from up here were on the map, and they're not right now. And so there's also the idea of, as I take these fights and I'm having success, and guys like Malik are having success, and people that we're training with have more and more success, we're actually building a roadmap at the same time through fighting. So we continue to leverage, my wins and your wins to create a bigger network, better opportunities for everybody up here.
Yeah. And I think of it like language. So if I'm talking to someone that only knows Spanish and I know English, like it's a hard way to connect.
Definitely.
So there's just a barrier of like community and entry and like understanding somebody. I think disciplines are the same way. Like I talk to you about Muay Thai and I try and talk wrestling to you over your head, over my head. I talk jiu-jitsu to him over his head. He talks jiu-jitsu to me over my head. So I'm trying to find a way to interpret communication where it's just position based to where it just makes sense to everybody. And the more I learn footwork and striking, working with Rick Story, the more I can take striking terms and apply that to how to wrestle. So what people tell me is, hey, don't box, just wrestle. And so that makes sense to me. So we're trying to find a way to like bypass learning a whole new sport of wrestling to where it's just, hey, what you're doing with your kicks, let's apply that to your defense. Hey, how you're shading your step, let's apply that to your shot.
Yeah.
And so using like terms to kind of update the brain to create that algorithm of you've already perfected Muay Thai, so use that same algorithm to understand wrestling versus trying to learn a whole different process, right?
Yeah.
And so we're bridging that gap, and I think we're doing better and better.
Yeah.
And the better we do, the more we can see other fighters and understand their motion, their movement, and predict what they're going to do based upon, it's all position.
Yeah.
And if I have better position than you got to move. Right? And so it's just a matter of understanding that position, whether it comes from distance or closeness.
I'll say,
Yes,
you
I
say
agree.
we think we're doing better. We're 9-2 right now.
We're 9-2.
People working
saw
on this
that.
are 9-2 in the last 8 months.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot more wins.
Yep.
There's not going to be very many losses. And so we are
Yes.
succeeding at that.
Yeah.
We are
The
succeeding
path
at
is
that.
being built as you go.
Exactly.
Something I like to say to your point is you just mentioned position. This is something I preach in Muay Thai. So big.
Yeah.
So again, finding little pathways to communicate back and forth, it's huge.
Yeah.
And there is a way, like, again, dialing things back a little bit, the wrestling can be a little intimidating. Even back to high school wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But being that you're trying to apply it in a way that is a little bit more relaxed and, hey, like, because I have a bad lower back. And so I'm be like, oh shit, I'm I'm 41, I'm gonna go join a wrestling program.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little rough.
For sure.
But to be like, okay, I could go join, like a jiu-jitsu gym perhaps, or something like that, get started. Maybe it's not as bad. I've tried jiu-jitsu at our own spot. It's pretty bad still for my back. But being that you are trying to apply it in a more simplified program and stuff like that, that's only a matter of time before that catches on. So hopefully the people that listen to this want to come in and we can chop something up out of
For
that.
sure, yeah.
But, yeah, man, I'm loving everything you guys are doing. Applying different pathways, like you said, Ron mentioned boxing, and just focus on this, or the way that you're checking your kicks or throwing your kicks, maybe apply it in this sort of manner. We do that all the time, and I always talk about like body physiology. Like if you're gonna move like this, I always talk about the pivot in basketball. If you're gonna pivot around, like you have to get light on your foot to go ahead and spin. So I say like, where do we do that? Oh, I stepped in some dog poo, so I'm gonna slide my foot like I stepped in dog poo. But like trying to sit there and find another way to communicate, to apply what you're trying to teach to an everyday person or somebody that, everybody's an everyday person. It's very rare that you hit somebody that's all in on the sport for life. So trying to apply that to, like you said, maybe somebody coming in with a bum knee or something like that. I think that's going to go a long way. And then you're going to get the cream of the crop that want to stick around and be like this guy or like you or, anybody that's trying to hit those upper echelons. And I really think that's growing here in the Pacific Northwest.
And we love working with those type of people that this isn't their sport, I think it's really cool when people like, what's Josh's last name? Who's going to fight?
Wilson?
Yeah, Josh Wilson.
Yeah.
Look at a guy, he's 47 years old.
Yeah, I know.
He's fought one fight. He's training for another fight. He comes to our Saturday sometimes.
Good.
Awesome.
He brings last time he brought his own training partner, who is his size and more similar interests, right? But he's coming in to fight an MMA fight. It's that's badass.
Yeah,
he's
I
46
love
years
that.
old. He's going to fight another MMA fight. So he's got
not something you hear
injuries.
about.
He's got
Yeah.
he's got a life. I don't know if he owns a business, but full-time gig.
Mm-hmm.
And he's finding time to come train with us. And we find we have a way of programming for him as well, right? So someone has an injury who's interested in wrestling, or someone who's never done this at all, and is like completely just like nervous about stepping in. We love to have them come on in, and we can teach them some stuff, teach them something that's appropriate for where they're at and what they're trying to accomplish.
Right.
And that's a big deal because of course it's fun to compete. We love competitors. Obviously, our Saturday practice is meant for active competitors. It's invite only for active competitors, right?
Yes.
But we also have programs for people who've never done this before. People like my sister's kids. She has 5, a daughter and 4 sons.
Okay.
And I brought them all and put them into wrestling, kids wrestling, right? So, just kind of want to touch on at Fitness Quest at all the different locations. We have fighters trainings, and then we have different types of martial arts, and we have stuff for everybody.
Yeah. That's really important. So you're not just cornering things off. We talked about earlier the late 2000s, early 2010s or whatever. It was a really heavy competitive base out here, but not as much of a sport base. And that's something that I'm a little bit critical of at times because, again, we need to stay competitive out here to provide that legitimacy to the sport, reaching the higher levels. But that's not going to go away. What I do like is that we're not struggling to pay bills the way we used to. Like, martial arts has become more mainstream, especially like in the MMA aspect. And then all the sub-sports that kind of apply to MMA, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever it is. Being that like Fitness Quest, they do, I know that kids like over at the Auburn one, they got like Judo Joe fucking doing judo, and they're doing jiu-jitsu, and then you got the other boxing program and stuff like that. And so having an outlet that is so big and so readily available, even if you got to drive a little bit, that's huge for not just for the area but for the sport. And then applying that competitor base as well, because I know Saturdays you guys don't fuck around.
No, we don't.
So I know this is that intensity moments where I'm like, I know. But again, like, I noticed a significant growth in Malik this last weekend. Huge set of growth. And I know how much he's been coming to you guys and really trying to apply that and get better. And you can see it.
You know what's interesting about Malik is the biggest change has been mindset.
Yeah.
Like, we have tactics, and we have some stuff that we have some trade secrets that we're developing that I think they're legit. Like Malik fought, and then Andrew Trahan, he's been fighting or training with us as well. And the guy named Lucas, they both have left the state now. But Andrew destroyed the guy he fought. He fought a tough guy in one of those Chavez brothers.
Okay, yes.
He just destroyed him, and Malik just completely annihilated this guy. But the first time I met Malik, I thought he's extremely skilled. He's actually very, very, very skilled. He just wasn't putting it together yet, and I think some of that is mindset. And so, the biggest change in that I see with people who start training with us is in mindset. We kind of beat them up, not all of them, but like. Yeah. That's just that's the way of the world. If you're doing
kind of what it takes,
if you're competing on a one-on-one like dominance hierarchy sport,
yes,
then in the gym you need to be having guys that you're beating up. You need people who are close, and you need people who are beating you up. Like, you have to. You get different things from different ones, right? And so some of these guys, like, they come in and I don't know if you've noticed, you probably have, but get a lot of big eyes. As we're going, a lot of this. But then we start seeing that when it's interesting when you see that in the opponent during fights now, right? Where it's like, what is happening? And our guy is just walking them down and whooping their ass, right? And I think that's coming mostly from mindset. But I wanted to say that Malik was already skilled before he came. He's gotten more skilled, more tactical, more strategic, and I believe way more confident. Because of the style of training that we do. right? But he was already a skilled fighter before he got to us.
Definitely more polished, like well polished at that point. That's kind of a good way to break it down, is like maybe just not putting certain parts of things together the way it kind of should be in certain positions, certain spots. So
But that's all of us. That's all of us,
that's
right?
how we
Like,
grow.
I'm getting better and better at wrestling, but
Yeah.
I'm not a good wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, and in my fights you can see it. But if you watch this fight and you watch me fight another wrestler from 3 fights ago, who Jake said is a wannabe wrestler, he had more success against me in some ways than this guy did. And that was only 3 months, because I changed. Like I've gotten better from November to January. I got better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I'm still not gonna go out there and hit a double leg and make it real pretty. You know. So it's not just we're not just helping them like put it together, and people can get better. I guess the main thing is people can get better, and
I think that's key to it, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned the people below you, people near you, and people better than you. You're not going to get better if you're at the very top. I mean,
For sure.
Not in that environment.
It's hard to.
It's hard. It requires a lot of solo dedication, and I usually think the people that are at the top peak, they either bring somebody up with them, so they have a couple people that have somebody to compete with, or they start cross training, which you're seeing a lot of as well out here.
But think about resilience, right?
Oh yeah.
So if I'm catered to and I have a convenient life, I might be tough. My mindset might be tough, but if I'm cast on an island, have to survive for myself, like you got to figure things out.
Yeah,
You're just gonna
survival
be
versus
tougher when you
living.
have to survive.
Yes.
Right.
Very different.
And so in the wrestling community, that's what you do. Like I chose to go to Boise State because the guy at my weight class was ranked number 2 in the country, and so I signed up to get beat up for 2 years. That was literally my career path. Like I don't care really about school. I just want to get better at wrestling.
100% understandable.
18-year-old, just
Yep.
I want the best guy that's going to beat me up. I'll sacrifice not starting for 2 years because I want 3 years to be able to do what this guy's doing.
Yeah, because I'm going to beat him or whoever else's competition by the end of.
Yeah.
By the time I'm done, by the time he's done, I'm next.
And guess how many takedowns I got in a full year of wrestling against this guy?
How many?
5.
I was going to say 3. I don't know. Like, yeah.
3's a good, yeah. My first takedown was on my recruiting trip.
Okay.
I blast double legged him. And I looked at my brother who was on the team, and I was like smiling, like thumbs up. And he looked at me and goes, I was like, what? Like, you're not happy? I just took this guy down. He's an All-American. He proceeds to escape and take me down maybe 100 times in 10 minutes to the point where, you know, the corner of the mat where the mat touches the side mat, but there's a little gap in there. He had my teeth touching the wood because he shoved my head in the corner and like made me stand up with my teeth touching the wood.
Oh, man.
And that was my recruiting trip. And afterwards, I was like, okay, I'm coming here.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah. And I was like, usually they're kind of nice to you. You know, they take you out, they talk you up a big game. But this guy literally beat the hell out of me for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. And that's what I chose to do. And so we kind of bring that into the realm of it. Like you said, like you can't just beat a guy up because you're going to break his will.
Yeah.
But the ability to survive, you don't realize you're progressing. It's like in the gym industry, like the best results are the ones you don't notice. And so I got someone training and they're like, I don't know if I'm losing weight. And then they look at a picture of themselves 3 months ago and they're like, okay, my cheeks are down. I do look better. I guess I've been progressing a little bit. I was like, that's the key. And so against this guy, I thought I was getting worse. And I did the wrong thing. I went against him 5 days a week, which I probably shouldn't have done. But I went to my first competition and I remember snapping somebody and be like, oh, he went down a little easy.
That was easy.
Yeah, I carved the guy. I was like, why is he moving so much? This is crazy. And I was like, oh, maybe I have, like in the middle of the match, I was like, okay, maybe I have gotten better.
Yeah.
But it was 2 months of just getting destroyed to where it's like, I don't know if this is the right choice. So then you go out there and you compete and it's like, okay, it wasn't as bad as that dude.
Right. Everything you just said is what we preach.
Yeah.
So this man right here, Brian Jones Jr., was that for me. So he's like 5 or 6 time North American Muay Thai champion, blah, blah, blah. And he preaches what you said. It's like that fast first and forward. We're always forward. And it's hard to, like that sort of pressure breaks people. And having to, he was in fight camp at the time too, one of his last ones, having to learn how to fight in a war. Basically, like I'm learning how to fight with some fucking huge champion that's just piecing me in, and I'm doing all kinds of dumbass mistakes. But then I go into the smoker. I go into the my first couple of fights, and I'm like, that was a lot easier than I expected. Or like, I go and do the clinch, and I'm like, why was that so easy? And it's like, just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And now I look at, I kind of call regular people civilians, even though we are kind of like a weird gray area when the law gets involved. But as long as that doesn't happen. Anyway, when you get like a new person in, like a day one student, and you kind of have to be more careful with them because of how easily manipulatable they are from a standpoint of experience. So it definitely shows those levels. But everything you said there is fucking huge, and that's a lot of what we try to preach to our team.
Yeah.
So.
And the big thing with that, but with John, our communication's gotten better over the last 3 months. Because in his fight against the one wrestler who kind of wasn't very good but controlled him, it was like, I was telling him to do stuff, and he's like, well, I couldn't move. And he's like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe he's not ready for this conversation yet. And then after this fight, he kind of looked at it, and he's like, I get now what you're saying. And I think that's a big communication thing too, like especially if you're talking to someone new or different styles.
Right.
Like what I say, you might have different definitions for, or like you don't have the experience to feel it. And so we're not even having the same conversation half the time.
Yeah.
Until you get a little bit more shared experience to where it's like, oh, okay.
Speaking different languages, like you said earlier.
Exactly.
You know, until you start to actually be like, oh, that's what this means. This was, and you kind of teach each other through those communications. But and analogies and all kinds of that shit. So
it was funny. So this last fight was hard. He was tough. He was good. I can't say he was that tough. I can't say he's that tough, but he was good.
Yeah.
And but as he's beating me, I'm like, thank God this isn't Jake, because his style was what I thought too, is that he pins with his upper body, which takes his damagers out, right? Like takes his arms out of play because he's using them to pin and smother. And Jake like chases you with his hips, so his arms are free to whoop your ass. And it's horrible. It's horrible. It's a terrible feeling, which is why I want to steal that so I can do it to somebody. You know, and but even as I'm getting like, yes, I'm losing the fight, but I was like, thank God. You're like, I'm still alive because you are you. You know?
So you're going through that like, oh, this isn't that bad.
No, it's like, I'm bleeding.
I go through 5 days a week.
Seriously, and I'm getting up like, oh. If it was Jake, he'd be driving me over. And then he'd eventually get me over. But he was like kind of struggling to get me. He's winning. So it's like, okay, like, well, why am I talking shit when I'm getting beat? But there's levels. There's levels to it. And so I'm like, all right, that wasn't so bad. And then I come out round 2 and he's a little more tired. I'm like, all right. And he's shooting, and now he's like not being able to finish things. I'm like, oh, I got you. Yeah, but it's funny because of the experience of going with him all the time, you know, it's like, man, find me a wrestler, which has been my biggest weakness, I think, skill wise.
Okay.
Find me a wrestler that's Jake.
Yeah.
Then I'll be scared, but until then, like well, I mean, you might be beating me, but I'm gonna do better than I do during the week.
Yeah.
In my fight, I'm going to do better than I am typically in practice. Yeah. And so that's how it is with Saturdays too. You know, with the guys that come in, because people who are coming like they're tough guys from they're the killers in the other gyms. Yeah. Then they come in, and they might be 2. Sometimes there's a few. Did you say might?
No, I said that's what you want.
Oh, I thought you said there was only one. Yeah. And so they come in, and then there's a little bit of a humble pie for some of these guys, I think, which is why I've heard from every person, oh, this is what I needed. You know, like, I should be here. This is what I've been needing. Because they come in and they get whooped. Yeah. We had a guy come up. He wrestled in high school, and he got out grappled by a striker who doesn't wrestle at all. Doesn't even like to grapple. But he's been working with us for like 2 months maybe. Okay. And he out grappled the wrestler, and I'm watching like, damn, man, he's getting a lot better. I think that built his confidence too, because he's like, oh shit, I just out grappled this bigger
for sure
grappler brawler. You know,
as a striker, learning a little bit of groundwork and then go and beat somebody at their own game, it's a huge confidence builder.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is fun.
but that guy, he gets eaten a lot. And
In
on our Saturdays, he
practice.
gets he's grappling wise, he's losing to everybody.
Yeah.
But then you bring a killer from some other gym, and now he's winning. And it's like, oh, because that's how it is. Because like to your point of, you don't always. Sometimes you feel like you're getting worse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you're getting worse because you're like,
Interdemons, yeah.
damn. Yeah. And if you're going with someone better than you, they figure you out.
Yeah, they do.
So like Jake knows all my weaknesses.
I can exploit them, yeah.
He can exploit me if I came in today, like I did like Jay.
It'd be a different story.
It'd be
yeah.
You still would find you'd overcome me.
It'd take me a little bit longer.
It'd take me longer because now I've had a year working with you.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't have the year also.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so these guys that come in, they're also having to deal with that, and I have a lot of respect for the guys that come in, especially the guys that are a little bit smaller than us who come in because they have to get beat. I get beat, my ass beat by one guy.
Yeah.
They get their ass beat by several.
Yeah.
You know, so I got a lot of respect for the guys that come in, and then it's funny to see as new guys come in, the guys who've been with us the most start beating their ass. You know, it's like, oh yeah, see,
Yeah.
Trickle effect.
feels
Yeah.
good, doesn't it? You know,
So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, now I have a hierarchy at this gym as well.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But the level keeps rising, and as we're getting tough guys and good people that come, the room's just gonna get more and more dominant.
Yeah, I love that. And like you said, I think on the last podcast, that's something that the community's been kind of missing in the Pacific Northwest here is that room of like, hey, we're going to come together. It's not going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good time.
That's
like,
pretty fun, though.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like, you might get your ass
Huh?
whooped.
Depends on who you are.
But
That's
you're
true
gonna-
too, yeah.
Right. So not everybody wants to get their ass whooped anymore, and they don't know. That's when you get the, like, oh shit, I might not be ready for this. Some people, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
to go in there and essentially get your ass whooped in a safer environment, you know what I mean? Safer, I know. Like we were talking about it last time. We were like, sometimes I just like to lay on top of people past the timer. I'm like, we'll go past the timer sometime.
No one's been injured besides splits.
Besides splits.
I've got split. Okay. Besides me, no one has been injured in our room yet.
No, I didn't say anyone's been.
Well, I'm talking about safety.
Yeah, no, you're fine. That's what I mean, a safe environment.
It is safe,
yeah,
yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, but my point is, you can be safe and be intense and get that high level of training, which if everybody's just kind of grinding around in their own little, like everybody's gonna, so they're still gonna grow, but it's gonna be slower. When everybody can kind of be like, all right, our top guys are all gonna go here and get better, and then they go back here, and then those guys get better, and then a couple more come this time and they get better. Now you're having to limit who can come because the room's too full or whatever it ends up being. That's a good sign that you're building something serious, you know, because that's not going to go away. That's just going to build up the competition. You know what I mean? It's going to help the whole area. Just like we're trying to do is build that Pacific Northwest fucking fight community.
For sure.
Build it back up.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to? You wanted to say something else about Fitness Quest?
Yeah, I wanted to do, first off, thank you for having us on here. Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely, thank you.
As we're growing this, we're now at the point now where we're trying to bring more people in. And so we wanted to offer a special discount to anyone listening today, to where if you come into the Puyallup location, mention Sway Podcast, you get a discounted membership. It's $69 a month for all MMA access to all locations.
Oh, wow.
And so it's kind of like, we think of it like the Walmart of MMA. Like, since we have the gym, that's 80% of what's going on. Like, this is just a side profit for us, but it's our passion, right? So we put way too much interest in it, way too much focus in it, because it's only 20% of our membership base.
Yeah.
But we're able to keep our prices down to $69 a month, to where we can maintain that because we have the other side of the gym on that's protecting our membership dues, right?
Right.
So for the month of February, if anyone wants to come in, try it out, they get 1 day free to try out the class, because we don't want anyone signing up with something they haven't tried, right? $69 a month, and then John's gonna commit to a 30-minute one-on-one introductory, kind of like get up to speed, work with them, and kind of like what'd you call it?
Orientation.
Orientation. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like a personalized, like I can do an assessment, teach you some real basic stuff right off the bat, and then find what your goals are, and then get you set up like on a growth path. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's great because, like I said earlier, man, when you walk into a gym, nobody gets that one-on-one for 30 minutes with a high-level pro fighter. Like, so you offering your time to throw that in there, that's a huge selling point. So anybody that's interested, mention the Sway City podcast, go into any Fitness Quest
Puyallup
location.
Fitness Quest. We're going to be
Puyallup.
selfish on this one. Yeah,
Puyallup,
you'll have access to all of them, but Puyallup,
Access to all of them, but come into the Puyallup one specifically, and you will get an orientation one-on-one with this man, and they'll put you on the right path for MMA. So, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Well, we do it on the fitness side, so it just makes sense to do it on the MMA side. So if you come in and, like John said, like, we're not just going to sign someone a membership. We want to, show them around, go over all different programs. First off, learn their goal, what their history and their background is on working out and where they're at in their fitness journey right now. So we can recommend the best classes. And then we also give away 3 free training sessions when you sign up on membership for the fitness side of it too. Selfishly, we do that because it increases retention. So
Yeah,
average
definitely.
membership base is maybe like 3 to 6 months. Ours is right now about 1 to 2 years, average membership base. So we give away 3 free training sessions to help people be more successful. And if they're more successful, they keep their membership. And if they're getting results, then they tell their friends.
Yeah.
And so we want to try and mimic that on the MMA side, because the biggest thing we see when we sell MMA membership, like you said, they're kind of intimidated. It's kind of, what do I do? Am I going to look stupid? Like, how do I go about this? So having that orientation is going to help get them set up to where they're going to be more confident. They're going to know the instructors, kind of the format,
Yeah.
and then they're going to be members with us for longer. And then it's John's obligation to make sure they get results.
Yeah.
And so we want John obligated to help them get the results. So we want that pressure on John.
Yeah. Well, I actually really like that.
I like pressure.
Yeah, you say that all the time. I hear that and I see it in your posts. Like, I like the pressure. But that's, again, just kind of doubling back. I think that's a good selling point as well, because I know when I first joined the gym, there was no introductory program. It was like, all right, grab your gloves, you're partnered off with them. And that's honestly still how we operate.
Yeah.
And a lot of gyms are like that. So to have somebody, not just anybody, but a high-level pro, UFC right around the corner, hopefully, being willing to take a little bit of time out of the day to actually help not just promote this, but to get somebody that's interested in MMA to understand it, that you're going to get a good breakdown from somebody that's high level, and hopefully get introduced to a few other members, entering the comfortability in the space.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like, if you guys are teaching wrestling, like, do I got to wear a singlet? I hope not.
we get asked that question a lot. You're not alone. Yeah.
Again, like high school wrestling influence, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, like what does this actually look like?
For sure.
And so to provide that, it's and it's not just a one-off, like a quick commercial, like, hey, this is what you're gonna get here. Show up 15 minutes early, teach you how to wrap your hands.
Yeah.
You're getting like actual one-on-one coaching right off the bat, and that's something that, kudos to you guys for offering that. So.
Thank you.
There's something else we're doing too. We just got started. This is for the wrestlers. Sundays, 12 p.m. Sundays at the Auburn location, we're doing a wrestling open mat. So this is for MMA guys, jiu-jitsu guys as well,
Okay.
or just anyone that used to wrestle and wants to
So wrestle
get in
time.
and wrestle
Yeah,
a
I
little
got
bit.
you.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's something that we're
And current
pushing
high
out right
school
now.
wrestlers too.
Yeah, high school wrestlers,
Yeah.
like all the different clubs, like
Anybody. Yeah.
anybody
wrestler.
that wants to wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel
12 p.m.
Cormier is
Sundays.
doing it down in California.
Okay.
He has all these MMA guys wrestling with his high school wrestlers. And when I was in high school, I was at Vision Quest, and so I was wrestling a bunch of MMA guys, and it makes it tough.
Yeah.
It makes it tough, yeah. And so
Definitely.
that's the biggest thing in the wrestling community. We don't have a college here. We have Highline, and they're doing pretty. Actually, no, they dropped. Yeah, so we don't have. I think we have one college program.
Wazoo?
Wazoo's a club, and then there's one other one. I forget the name.
Okay.
But we don't have a D1 program.
Right.
So you go to Pennsylvania, go to Ohio, they have 7 or 9 Division I colleges that offer wrestling. What do those guys do after they graduate? They get a local job and they coach high school wrestling.
Yep.
And so we don't have those D1 guys and those college wrestlers to come and beat up the high school wrestlers. So in Washington specifically, our kids programs are really good because they're getting beat up by the middle school kids. Our middle school programs are pretty good because they get beat up by the high school kids. And then when they get to high school, they don't have those guys to beat them up anymore,
That's
right?
the peak, yeah.
Yeah. I got better because my brother was 2.5 years older than me my whole life. And so I got beat up since the age of 5.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but I had a guy that beat me up. And then when I was in high school, I had Kirk White, college wrestler, that came and beat me up. And Reese Andy, that beat me up a little bit. And guys that were coming in, MMA guys, they're not that good at wrestling. But you wrestle a 25-year-old MMA guy as a 17-year-old, like, you have to find a way to win, a different way to win, too. And so I think making that mix will help promote the high school wrestling here a lot, too.
Well, I mean, I think that's. I wish I would have wrestled in high school. I went to Spanaway Lake the 2 years that we went to state back to back, and it's like there was like Dan Pitch and Pat Pitch. They fucking did the exact same thing. Like I can't remember if I think there were Beavers or Oregon State, OSU, something like that. I didn't talk to them after high school, but same thing. You could see where they're just like I was in the same grade as Pat, the younger brother. And just, I mean, cauliflower ears since like 7th grade. Don't fuck around, like 6-pack, all this shit. And always hear him talk about his older brother, and his older brother's always like doing super well. And it's like, okay, so you see them again, like you said, they go out of state to go wrestle and stuff like that. But seeing that they're able, the levels that they're able to maintain, and then, I mean, 2 years, I think it was 2 years we went to state or one state or something like that. This would have been like 2002, 2003, something like that. And, yeah, they did really well. It's just one of those things where I'm like, well, hindsight would have been a great thing to fucking do, especially with the high-level program. But where do you go from there? Like, there was no path. There was no, I mean, this is before the fucking Griffin Bonner fight, you know, so like before anybody even really knew what MMA was, or wasn't as mainstream now. So there really wasn't a huge draw, at least not in my opinion, outside of wrestling, or like everything was very sport specific. There wasn't anything higher level. You can get into boxing. I didn't know that there were wrestling clubs outside of that. But like I was a football player, so I was like, oh, and then delusional, thinking I'm gonna actually like go somewhere with it when I had like failing grades, or on a couple of them. So yeah, again, just circling back, having somewhere that you can go and be like, all right, there are additional levels, and not just now, but like now that everybody they can go into MMA, or they know they can go to a jiu-jitsu gym, or now getting yourself out there as a high-level wrestling gym as well, offering outside of extracurriculars, you know, or outside of school sports, organized sports, or rec clubs, or things like that. So, and where you can actually go and train with MMA fighters, pro fighters, amateur fighters, strikers, you know, it offers, I think, another untapped avenue around here.
Well, yeah, and you know, the long-term goal and what we're going to do is we're going to become a regional powerhouse first. That's it's already happening, and in 2 years from now, it's not going to make sense not to train with us. And so, once our guys are all winning and dominating, including, like we've talked about before, like you can keep your team affiliation, but be training with us, right? Right. We're going to be creating the ability to get opportunities outside of this, right? Whether that's going to college for wrestling, like working with Jake and getting into a D1 program, whether that's through fighting, whether that's through Muay Thai, like with Nick and Synergy. We're in this fun stage where we're game planning and creating momentum for really big opportunities, setting the stage for parents and people who have kids that maybe they're not going to be a football player. They're not very tall. So they're not very good at basketball. They're not those kinds of kids. Right. But they find their way into martial arts, and they want to, you know, they come in, maybe they come for discipline, but then they find out that, oh, this kid actually really he wants, or he or she, they want the rough and tumble. They want to wrestle around, you know. With Fitness Quest as a brand, and with the fighting, with the wrestling, with all of it combined, and the fitness all combined, it's going to be kind of a one-stop shop for if you have a child that's like I've been planning on doing this since I was 9 years old. So I'm in the era that I've literally have planned since I was 9, right? There are kids out there that are like me. He wrestled since 3, right? Yeah, right. So there are families out there, and there's kids out there that want to do this, and if they find their way to us, you know, they can work with fitness. They have a if they stay like living their life around here, they have multiple locations. They have access to tons of different martial arts. They have wrestling programs, like the best wrestling programs, because they have the best wrestling coach, right, and lineage of that. And if they wanted to fight someday, but you don't want kids fighting, when they're young. But so what do? They get into wrestling, or they get into boxing, or they get into jiu-jitsu. And most of those things, like jiu-jitsu, it's its own little jiu-jitsu school.
Right.
Boxing is very much we're boxers only.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be a brutal place that like.
Where do I fit?
It can be good.
What's right for me?
Yeah. Right.
And you don't know.
And you don't know, right? I did boxing for a few years. I did taekwondo. I did football. You're doing all these different things. But getting hooked up early or plugged in early to a program to a community like Fitness Quest, right? You can, while you're young and wrestling, have access to professional fighters who are actually creating. Right now, we're carving out a roadmap. We're creating opportunities to the big show. Yeah. Right. So we know, like we have. I think I've had 4 or 5. No, I just reached out to 4 promoters about 2 guys fighting, who don't even train with us yet, who called and said, "Hey, can you get us fights from out of state even? And one's out of country. Can you get us fights? We want to fight locally, right?" We're creating this system here where if parents have 2 young boys that want, say 2 brothers that always get in fights at home, and they're like, "Hey, let's go put them into some wrestling." Yeah, they can come wrestle with us, and then maybe one of them takes off and like sticks with it, and ends up wanting to do some kickboxing, does some kickboxing smokers, does some Muay Thai, and then gets in MMA, right? Yep. If you have children that are interested in that, right, or as a parent, you're like, "Hey, I want my kids to have some discipline," right? Bring them to us.
It's a great path. Yeah.
Get plugged in, because there's so many opportunities where most of these other martial arts gyms or just fitness gyms, you have to piecemeal everything together.
Yeah. That's kind of where we're at. So like if you want to be jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, like that's where we're at kind of thing. And you have a lot of ground covered.
Exactly. And we have got University Place, we got Puyallup, we got Auburn. There's a lot that accesses a lot of people. Like there's a lot of different places like locally that can get to those 3 locations. Yeah, right? Exactly. Who knows, maybe there'll be another location.
Three
maybe like Tequila.
Settle for 3 for now, but you never know the future.
You never know.
We're trying to perfect things now and really develop these programs, right? And so selfishly, if we take on a new venture, that's going to take away a lot of our focus to put into that new venture.
I'm living that right now. I get it.
Yeah. So trying to get systems in place, perfect things, and grow programs is kind of where we're at right now. And develop. Yeah. We'll see though. You never know. Yeah. The plan was 1.
Okay.
The plan was 1, and then Auburn came about, and too good of a deal to pass up. Yeah. And then University Place came about, and it was too good to pass up. So you never know.
And wasn't Vision Quest also on 176th Street in Puyallup for a while? Was that something else? Okay, because I went to that one for a little bit.
On.
Yeah, there was during the daytime, there was a guy who's like, I got a fight coming up, and he's like, tapping-itions and stuff. This was before I knew shit about it. MMA. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I got to fight a guy. And if I win, I don't get to be a part of or if I don't win, I don't get to be part of the gym. I was like, oh, so it's like a roster gym. I was like, okay. And again, this would have been like 2009 or something like that. So I was like, I'm in the dark at this point. So I don't know if that was for real or if this guy was just being one of those guys, but it could be anything. Especially I have heard of that before. It's not as common.
I had to fight a guy in Fortis.
Yeah?
Yeah, I came
That's what I mean.
I met a guy, and he ended up being my best friend in Texas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Swap. So what else you guys want to say before we close out?
Well, I got an upcoming fight.
Really?
Back at it, yep.
Do you?
That's right.
Who's finding you these fights?
Eddie Blackburn.
Eddie Blackburn for One Speed Management.
That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
He's got me the last 5 fights. That's right, 5 fights in a row. No, last 6. Yeah, last 5 fights. This will be the 6th fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so your last fight was down on the Uriah Faber card, A1.
That's right.
A1 Combat.
A1 Combat.
Down at the Sacramento Hard Rock Casino.
Yep.
Is it Hard Rock Casino?
Yeah, Casino Resort.
Casino Resort.
So Hard Rock is Hard Rock. This one will be too. So I'm going right back there next month, fighting another killer.
Dope.
So that's good. Another savage.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's good. I know Eddie's working hard. He's opening applications for other fighters right now.
It's opening a lot of doors.
Opening a lot of doors for people. Yeah.
Because we got this A1 fight, which I want, and I want this fight. And so, but this wasn't the only opportunity. There was another fight down in New Jersey. I was supposed to fight actually a month from now, but because my broken nose, I couldn't do that one. Yet. But so now that fight is in June.
Okay.
Assuming that we still want it after this fight, which I probably will because I want to fight the guy.
Okay.
And so that one's in New Jersey for a title fight at 175. So that'd be nice. Don't have to cut as much weight.
Yeah.
And then we also got inroads to CFFC, got inroads to talking to LFA. So yeah, the opportunities are growing rapidly.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. And I know Eddie's working with a lot of promotions and there's a lot of fighters reaching out. So don't be mad if the whole why not me thing doesn't happen, because when you get a lot of people reaching out, you can't manage 100 plus fighters.
Well, yeah, to be fair, you know, there's a brand.
Yeah.
You know, and Eddie's talked to me about it. There's a brand of fighter. We're looking for guys that are tough, guys and gals that are tough, that throw down. You know, it's called One Speed, and that's the style of fighter that we're looking for, right?
That's the style of fighter Eddie was.
Yeah, not just taking just everybody, but open for more guys, new guys.
That fit the profile.
Well, and part of that is also good character. You know, no shitheads.
No shitheads.
No shitheads.
Easy to turn away the shitheads. Well,
Yeah.
it kind of brings me into what I want to talk about real quick. So I'm also sponsoring you with
right.
Relentless Mouth Guards. We're actually going to do a quick fitting impression here. But it's the same way. Like I've got Nira and Kaysen.
That's right.
Also part of One Speed Management. It's kind of a thing that Eddie and I have worked out currently. And I'm experiencing a lot of the why not me, or like sponsor me, and I'm just getting started, so it's not something that I'm in a rush to do. But you definitely get it. Like when you're building a brand, it's important to sit there and think about like what is your brand going to look like now? What is it going to look like in a few years? But yeah, man. So I'm happy to sponsor you. Thank you. I was really pleased to see the logo on the banner. I was fucking jumping up and down about that again. But
I'll give a shout out to Eddie for that.
Yeah.
I saw the banner pop up and the huge fitness quest on there. I had no idea. He showed up with a banner. I was expecting to be One Speed Management or something like that.
You didn't know?
I had no idea. And then I opened it up and the whole thing's fitness quest. So I was like, okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So from a gym standpoint, like he didn't have to do that. No communication, but that was just one of the coolest things that he did. And I was just like, I like this dude. Yeah. And he's got good energy.
Oh, always. Yeah.
He almost pushed me off the stage when John won. He was more excited for John than I was. Like I was clapping so hard my hands were red, but Eddie's whole face was red and he was like, he wanted to punch somebody. He was so excited. So just seeing that support from a promoter, like you don't see that. Like that was genuine. Like that dude has it out for John and wants John to do good things.
Fuck
Fully supportive of John, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And and
it's hard to get.
With my experience of Eddie he's done everything he said he would. That's extremely important. It's extremely important to me. You know,
in a game that's fickle, like it is in MMA. Yeah, somebody that's going to stand by their word is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's succeeding.
Oh
I want fights. He's joked. He said, "I'll get you a fight every month if you can." And hey, it's almost every month.
Yeah.
You know, and let's see, I fought in September. I fought in June. Then the longest one was in September. It's like 9 weeks. How dare he?
9 weeks.
You know?
Stay ready soon enough to get ready. That was our old motto.
No, but that was for me. I was like, when's the next one? Now he wasn't. He was working with, but we hadn't like done managing yet because he was still promoting.
Yeah.
And then the next one was November, so 2 months. So then it went to 8 weeks, and then it was 5 weeks, and then it was 7 weeks, and now it'll be 8. It was 7 weeks again, or 8 weeks again. But I had a fight, March. You know what I mean? And actually, I had a fight that I pulled out of in middle of January as well. Family issues. But so no, I joked last time. If that wasn't a joke. I said he'll get you as many fights as you want.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
he will get you.
He will.
As many
I know.
fights as
When
you
you
want.
said that, that's what I was like. Yep. I know Eddie for a long time too.
Yeah.
Like he's for real. He's not gonna bullshit you. He's just gonna be like, yeah. And
well, and
he's a
promoters,
go-getter.
Yeah. So there's one thing to say like I'll give the effort, but it's another for it to be received. You know what I mean? So he's succeeding at doing what we want. You know what I mean? So it's I'll get you fights, and then you can go out and try to get fights, and then no one's gives you time of day.
Yeah.
But I'm getting fights. I'm getting good fights. You know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah.
So.
Well, and just to have that reciprocated, like you said, is like so big, because the only way you reach your dreams is by having somebody else like kind of do that if you can't do it yourself. You know, and there's not, we talked about like developing a path. A lot of people get to the higher level and they're like, who can I go fight for Koga? Can I go fight for Elite FC? Can I go fight for LFA? Like, how do I get there? How do I get to that level? Who's the first when I go pro? So it's like a lot of times you have to have like gym connections or some sort of connections, and it really does boil down to, it's not always what you know, but who you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always who you know. Everything in this life is about relationships.
That's what I always say. I covet relationships over cash, and that has paid off so well. Like, just developing, even having a relationship where we can have a podcast and come sit down and have everybody just kind of relax, be on the same page, and help promote themselves.
Well, no, yeah, and to that end, thank you again for creating this opportunity, because it is a good channel, and you're growing. You're growing. It seems like rapidly.
Working on it.
You're out there. You're plugging me
every day.
Dude, it's showing. It's showing. You know what I mean? And ask good questions, and so it's like this is what's needed, and you've created it. And so really thankful also that you had us out here.
Thank you.
And I'm happy. I'm excited about Relentless Mouth Guards. I'm excited to rep it. I'm excited to get my own cast up. You know what I mean?
Yep. We're gonna do that here in just a moment, and we should probably close out, because right after this, I'm going to go do a fitting at Mythic Muscle, Mythic Fight Team down in Tacoma, right around the corner from where we're at. Go fit their gym.
We want to do a grappling match against them.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to do our Saturdays versus their Saturdays.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll be out there tonight.
Set it up.
I was going to say, I'll be out there tonight. I'll mention it to them.
Set it up,
I just did a podcast with John and Jake. So, they're cool guys. Like, I'm pretty sure
I love
that
those
you guys
guys.
will. Yeah. I was gonna say you did their competition on the water.
That's right.
So,
champion over here.
That happens, right? So, but yeah. So I am doing gym fittings and personalized fittings. So if you guys see something up, I'd love to have you guys out. We'll be in the talks about something possibly in the future, and there's a lot of other gyms reaching out. So calendar is filling up. So reach out when you can. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Jeff will be down tomorrow morning before I go to the Smoker at West Coast Fight Team. So we're going to pump out some mouth guards.
Is that tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night at West Coast.
Okay.
That'll be what's tomorrow, the 7th.
I might go down.
So, yeah, that'd be fun. We got like 3 kids and 6 adults. So we're going to have a full crew.
Cool. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, I throw out one thing. Karma's having a fight on February 28th at Auburn Fitness Quest.
Okay, yes.
So tickets are online at fitnessquest.com. You can go on there and buy them, or just show up at the door. But yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Karma. They're doing big things, and he'll be putting together I think there's 11 fights on right now. So they're
nice.
showing February 28th.
Fights, and earlier in the day they're doing a Luke the Chef. I can't remember.
Yeah, Luke the Chef. Yeah.
Fights for 1FC.
Yep.
Badass Muay Thai guy doing a seminar earlier in the day. So there's a way to buy tickets to that, and also through buying a ticket they can also get like access to the seminar.
Cool.
So yeah.
So yeah, check it out. What was the website?
Fitnessquest.com.
There you go. And I will that night be out at Koga doing mouth guard fittings as well.
Oh, right.
So I'll be out of there's a bunch of cards that
There's
night.
a lot.
So
Yeah,
the
There's a
Pacific
lot, yeah.
Northwest Fight Community on the 28th will be alive and well. So if anybody that doesn't like to see fight footage, you might want to fucking turn off your camera for about a week, because this is gonna be everywhere.
And then we'll look to get you out at our gym too to do some mouth fittings too.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll promote you out there too.
I thought you were gonna say have me out to get my face punched in like this guy wanted.
Oh, if you
last
want to
night.
come Saturday,
I mean,
at
that'd be fun.
11:30, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm not so much of the ground and pound guy, but I'll do what I can.
Well, tomorrow we're doing it's mostly clinch.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I have Jeff Hoiby, Jeff
That's
the ref,
right, yeah.
coming
Yeah,
down
yeah.
to help finish up some mouth guards. Actually, that's what everything is right over here.
Cool.
But I actually brought it out from my shop, so he doesn't have to drive so far.
Oh,
So he's coming all the way down from like fucking Everett somewhere. I'm like, yeah, he's got to drive like 100 miles to get to me. Like, maybe I can cut 10, 15 miles off of that. But yeah, man. Cool. Thank you guys for coming on. I had a great time.
Yeah,
We'll knock out this mouth guard fitting and work it out. Cool. Anything else?
Last thing, promotion. Sway City podcast, mentioned that, the Puyallup Fitness Quest. $69 a month. You get access to all 3 locations, all classes, all MMA classes, and that 30-minute session with John.
That's excellent. So mention the Sway City podcast at Fitness Quest Puyallup, and you'll get that discount. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Army.
Yep.
Thank you.
That was a great time.
Appreciate it.